The 2021 Six Invitational is probably one of the only bright spots that we can see right now because America's being stupid, the virus still isn't down yet, and R6 Dick no longer works for Dark Zero, so it's pretty sad times all around. But Invite seems like one of the few things we can actually look forward to, and yesterday we got our 20th and final team locked in for the biggest dance of the year. So I think it's time I got off my ass, stopped playing Cyberpunk and sleeping in until 1 in the afternoon so I can do my freaking job and make a video! Hi, I missed you all. Not only is this the first iteration of the global standing system producing 16 teams for Invitational, but Ubisoft is sticking with their original plans of this SI being 20 teams big, so we had one last chance qualifier spot per region, and they produced some pretty interesting results. So to run these down, the teams with the most global standings points through 2020 in order are BDS, TSM, Giants, Cloud9, Team Liquid, Dark Zero, Ninjas in Pajamas, Space Station, Team One, Virtus Pro, Wildcard, Team Empire, FaZe Clan, Oxygen, G2, and MIBR. That by itself, if we didn't have 20 teams, was already going to be one of the most stacked events we've seen. Never mind, we haven't had events because COVID's been a thing. Points were awarded based on where teams placed in both stages 1 and 2, and if a team made it to a 6 major last year, then those placements also gave them additional points, unless you were an APAC where you only got points based on your major placements and nothing during the regular season. And again, because of those qualifier spots, we also get to add Furia, Cyclops, Makers, and Altiora to the list. And I know no one on the planet saw those last two coming. In the future, I want to do full region breakdowns for Invite like I did for SI 2020. You guys really seem to like those and they pulled great numbers. So I'll go region by region once we're a little closer to the event, but there's a few observations that we can pull just from the list of teams. We have a couple of firsts in both Makers and Altiora being the first Italian and Canadian teams respectively to make it to a major stage. I say majority and not full Canadian because Sonar just had to be American. It's literally the reverse effect of Troy being the only Canadian player on an all-American space station. Could we switch the two of them so that the flags at least look consistent? This is a really neat thing to see happen, even if personally I would have preferred teams with larger orgs going instead. But the fact that Altiora beat Disrupt, who were definitely the favorites going into that qualifier, and Makers beating 4 EUL teams in both open and closed quals, they both absolutely deserve to be there, but I know not a soul saw them making it this far. Another thing is Latin America. If you're a Brazilian fan, you should be over the moon because you guys have 6 teams going this year. 6. That's more than a quarter of the field and more than any other region at large. It could very well have only been 5 Brazilian teams because Estral Esports took Furia to the limit in that last qualifier from yesterday, but ultimately just fell short at the last hurdle. That series was really good though, even if I can't understand a lick of Portuguese. Overtime! But aside from Brazil, representation seems to be pretty even across the board. North America and Europe both have 5 teams going, and APAC has 4, so it's a pretty decent spread. Though it unfortunately does come with a casualty. We had 2 teams, FaZe Clan and Fnatic, being the only 2 to make it to every single Six Invitational since 2017, but Fnatic chose to prioritize their eventual hopeful move to Japan in order to compete in APAC North with ping above 80, leaving only FaZe as the sole invite attendee for every iteration of the event. It really sucks to not see Fnatic at this thing, I'm not gonna lie. And if FaZe can't qualify for SI next year, safe to say I'm quitting Siege, no cap. And even going back to the Xbox days, I'm not counting Pro League finals in this, but every single team that's won a major or an invitational has at least 1 player present at this event. Guys like Pengu, Bosco, and Canadian have all won 2 world championships before, but guys like Laxing and Skies will be hunting for their 2nd at this event. So I thought those were a few cool initial observations, but the issue right now is a lack of details surrounding how the event is gonna work. Ubisoft has only mentioned that it's going to take place in late February, and it's some country in Europe and not Montreal due to the current pandemic. We don't know what the format is going to be or what teams are in what groups. There's a few countries that I can see potentially hosting the event, but I have a hunch that it'll just be teams attending Europe, and I think all of the broadcast talent will probably be working from home. The dates are a little easier to narrow down because Ubi still has the Road to SI Battle Pass active in-game right now, and it's slated to end on the last weekend of February. So if we take into account that last year's SI was a 10-day event and we think about when the SI Battle Pass is supposed to end, that would put the event ending on February the 28th and starting probably around the 12th or the 13th, though That's not confirmed. I genuinely don't know when the dates are. I'm just taking a stab at when it might happen. While there's still a lot of questions left to be answered, at the very least, the list of teams has finally been solidified. Predictions are coming soon. Don't worry. They will come soon. That's all from me. I took a massive break over the holidays to get back to base, and I think I picked a good time given that no roster transfers can happen right now, but I am back, and we're going to get right back into the swing of things. Do me a massive favor, please, and go follow me on Twitch. I will be live tomorrow talking about a lot of the stuff that we mentioned here, so I'll see you then.